So I watched one battle after another. I've heard a lot of people praise this movie and call it one of the best movies of the year. And if I'm gonna be honest, I think this movie's a little overrated. I did like this movie. Thought it was good. I enjoyed it. There were some problems I had with the movie though. Like I don't think it hits like to me, I didn't find it to be great like everybody else does. So I did find it overrated, like I said. Let me start with the positives with this movie. Leonardo DiCaprio, I think he's great in this movie. He plays like a character that can be funny at times, like a little wacky. And I did find his character to be likable. Like I did feel invested in his character. I think he gives a great performance in this movie. So I really liked his character. There is one negative I have with his character that I'll talk about in the negatives. But when it comes to his character in this movie, I actually did really feel invested in his character, and I think he gives a great performance like Leo DiCaprio always does in his movies. And I would say the standout is probably going to pronounce the actor's name wrong. Biocco Del Torno, who played like his I think it was like his I think he calls him like Tisa in the movie, and he's been in a couple other things. But I really loved his character in this movie. I thought he was like the standout character among the supporting cast. I thought his character was just really fun, and I wanted to see more of his character actually in this movie. So I thought those two to me were my favorite characters in the movie. And I think when it gets to the second half of the movie, is to me where the pacing got more fun for me, where the story started to pick up more, and I was really entertained by the movie. I'm going to get into negatives when it comes to the first half for me, where I feel like the second half was stronger to me with this movie than the first half. And like I said, overall, I think it's a fun movie. The negatives I have with this movie, and this is one on with Leo DiCaprio's character in the movie, is that even though I love his character, I think he gives a great performance in this movie. I do feel like at the end of the movie, his character doesn't really grow all that much. Like he was a very funny character. I love his character in the movie. I was invested in his character. I did feel though his character doesn't really grow that much at the end of this movie though. So that's a little nitpick I have about his character where I felt like I would like to have seen his character growing a little bit more at the end of the movie. Kind of just was pretty much the same character at the end of the movie than when he starts the movie. Another negative thing with this movie for me is that this movie's I think 2 hours and 42 minutes. This is one of those movies where the first half, which is why I talked about the positive, where I really enjoyed the second half more. The first half, just I was like, okay, where is this going? The first half to me felt a little like it was dragging. Like I felt like for the first half of the movie, I was like, okay, like the pacing was a little slow for me at first, and I wasn't sure where the story was going, so I didn't love the first half of the movie. I didn't think it was bad. It just felt like it was dragging at times for me. So I think the first half for me personally, I felt like you could have. I think you could have trimmed this movie down a little bit. Another negative thing with this movie for me is that the girl who plays Leo DiCaprio's character's daughter was I am forgetting the actress's name. I'll be honest with her character. Like I kind of found her character not really all that interesting. Like she was kind of forgettable character in this movie for me, and even the relationship between Leo DiCaprio's character and his daughter in this movie, I feel like you could have flushed that out a little bit more. Now you find out later on that's they're not actually she's not really his daughter when it comes to them being when it comes to her being blood related to Leo DiCaprio's character. With which I didn't mind that twist on in the movie. When it comes to the relationship between those two characters in the movie, Leo DiCaprio's character and his and Ho, when it comes to his daughter who's not blood related to him, I feel like that relationship could have been fussed out more. I just felt like when he like shows up, gets at the end, I just wish that relationship was fussed out a little bit more to get me to care a little bit more. I don't care that overall. She's just not. I never felt like I got invested in her character to me. Like she gives a good performance actress. I just never found her character all that interesting. And I didn't feel like they really did a whole lot with her, like getting you interested in her character. And then the actress who plays Leo DiCaprio's, I guess his character's girlfriend or wife in the movie, or I'm trying to remember the actress's name. I'm terrible with actors' names, so when it comes to like Leo DiCaprio's daughter, the actress who plays the character's mom in this movie, she's only in the beginning of the movie, and her character, I'll be honest, I didn't really care for her character because you don't really get to like the only thing I got from her character in this movie in the first half, because she's only really the beginning in the movie, is that she's very horny when it comes to when her and Leonardo DiCaprio's character all together. Like I didn't really feel like her character to me was just kind of like I just didn't feel like they really gave you anything with her character. And at the end, when the daughter gets that letter from her mom, where maybe hints she could be alive out there, I wasn't really a fan of what they did with her, like how they wrap up that story at the end with her character. I was not a fan of that choice personally. So I think her character, she just felt like a kind of like I feel like you could have like definitely fussed out her character more. Even the relationship between her and Leo Cappy's character, I can't say I felt like really invested completely in that because I feel like he didn't really do enough to get me to care about that relationship. So her character was kind of I just found her character to be kind of like a nothing character in this movie. Like he didn't really get any time to fuss out a character, or get to know a character, and even the political stuff that Leo Cappy's character and how a part of this group, I felt like the political element of this movie, you could have done more with it in this movie. Like, I feel like you could have explored more. Why did Leo DiCaprio's character join this fight? Like, I just feel like, look, I'm not a political person. I just feel like that element of the story, you could have dived in a little bit more and just flussed it out a little bit more. So that was kind of another negative I had with the movie. And I would say the biggest negative with this movie is the actor Sean Penn who plays Kronos Steve Lockjaw, you finally on, is Ashley, the Leo DiCaprio's daughter's real dad. And I gotta say this about his character in this movie is that I didn't care for his character. I thought he was a bad villain personally. Like there's moments where he's imitating, but the problem I have with his character in this movie is that there's also times in this movie where his character came off so over the top in a way that I just couldn't take him serious in this movie. So when he tried to have those moments of imitation, I just couldn't take it serious because there's so many moments in the movie where he's playing it over the top a little for me. Where I was like, he's coming off goofy, the character to me, and it just didn't work his performance in this movie for me. I think he's a great actor. It's just the way his character was written in this movie, his performance in this movie just didn't gel with me. And there's a lot of times he just comes off goofy. I mean, like the scene you meet him when the black girl, I forget an actress name. Sorry about that. That when she has him at gunpoint in the opening of the movie, like his like his his dick starts to like grow, and I'm like, this is like that opening with his character where I was like, okay, his character's already coming off a little too goofy for me with that. I was like, and there's just moments in this movie where I was like, you're too over the top for me at times, and I can't take him like serious as a threat in this movie. So Sean Penn's performance to me, it just did not work for me at all in this movie. I couldn't take him serious as a threat as the bad guy. So to me, he's kind of like the biggest. His performance stands out as the biggest issue in this movie for me because I just could not take him serious, and he just was too goofy and over the top at times with his character. Like I said, overall, I think this is a good movie. This is not a movie I would call great though, like everybody else. Like there's some negatives with this movie. Like I said, the first half goes a little slow. I think the relationship between Leo DiCaprio's character and the actress who plays daughter, I think that could have been flussed out more. I think the daughter getting a letter end from the mom. I felt like you could have fussed out her character more. Same with the daughter. Sean Penn gives off just a goofy, over the top performance at times with him as a bad guy, where I can't take him serious. And the first half is just to me drags at times. Like this is a movie I think you could have trimmed down, and the political element of this movie, I felt like you could have dived into more when it comes to why is Leo DiCaprio part of these rebels and stuff like that? I felt like you could have just done more, flushed it out more with that stuff. So overall, I did enjoy this movie. I would recommend one battle after another. At the same time, though, this I do find this to be an overrated movie, where I can't say I love it as much as everybody else does. I wouldn't personally, for me personally, I wouldn't say it's one of the best movies of the year, like a lot of people feel. Overall, though, I do think it's just a good, solid movie. I just don't think it's great. Like to me, there's a few things, criticisms that I have towards the movie, problems that I felt like that held the movie back for it being great for me personally, at least. So that's my thoughts on one battle after another. Until next time, movie fans.